Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Alex or ASMR, and you are joining me in this room, which is my office. Now, today I wanted to make hopefully a bit of a longer video, because I know that many of you put these videos on in the background while you are doing other things like driving, surgery, rescuing people from buildings, all kinds of other things. And so, if you're into that type of stuff, do what you do, but I wanted to make a longer video so that maybe you could have this in the background for longer. Rescuing people from buildings can take a while, so I want to keep you company while you do what you do. So this video is going to be about accommodation. Accommodation. I like that word, accommodation. Accommodation. She's kind of a theater kid, but she's also accommodation. She's also quite the studious woman, accommodation. And I think she just knows how to be herself. And so I think that's what accommodation is about. It is about allowing yourself to be yourself. And to be the theater queen of life and take up center stage, not the back seat, not the back row, in your own life. As usual, I have to cut out a million sounds from this video and edit around the life of a city. But, okay, back to the topic. I watched 2 YouTube videos that I really liked. And I have them. Okay, so the first one that I watched, 50 accommodations I use as an autistic adult. That is by Louisa. And then I watched 50 accommodations I use as an adult ADHD-er. So somebody who has autism and ADHD. This is by Honey Bunch of Onion Tops. I don't know what that name means. It might be, I don't know. We don't need to know everything. Okay. I watched YouTube, and I thought that those are amazing. I love to watch videos like that, because I love seeing how people live and what they're up to. I was going to make something like that, in a little bit. But then yesterday I sat on the floor of a train because there was nowhere to sit, and I just couldn't stand anymore. And I thought, who am I pretending for? Like, I wanted to sit on the ground, but I thought, oh, is that a social faux pas? I thought to myself, like, come on. I had a stroke. I have disabilities. This is hard for me. I'm gonna sit on the floor. So I did. I sat on the floor, and it was amazing. Nobody cared. And I got the feeling that, most people would want to sit on the floor if it was practical or easy. So everyone left me alone. I sat on the floor, and then eventually, when we made enough stops that people actually got off the freaking train, I was able to sit in a seat, and I felt amazing. I felt so much better. And so that being just yesterday, I wanted to make a video about accommodation and just taking care of yourself. And what can you get away with doing? And so let's talk about that. Now, the wonderful thing I think about right now is that more and more people are talking about accommodations and opening up the world to finally, or maybe acknowledge some ways of living and being that we just didn't really pay much attention to for a long time. So I love watching videos of people who talk about their experience with autism or ADHD, because while I don't have those particular things, my life post-stroke, I've talked about this in various forms and videos, looks very different than before, and I need a lot of accommodations now. So I'm going to talk about accommodations for chronic pain, which is what I have. I have some lack of mobility, which is quite interesting and makes for an interesting time out in public. And I'm going to talk about attention and focus and things that help me in that capacity. So I think this video, I hope that it speaks to people, kind of no matter, what you might be going through or living with, or just noticing about yourself. I hope that it's helpful. No matter what you got going on. I made a list of my own accommodations that I can notice. I'm sure I have many adaptive behaviors that I actually don't really think about, and they're just a new part of my life if I really, really thought about it. But I just made a kind of a fun list of things that I notice are just accommodations now that I did not need before, 4 years ago, that now I need. And I feel amazing when I pay attention to them and when I do these things or ask for these things. They are in random order. And across the spectrum of complexity, some of them are very easy accommodations and some of them are complicated, and I'm going to talk about it. So no particular order, just completely random. Okay. The first thing on this list, and maybe I should keep track of how many. Okay. So number 1, the first thing on this list of accommodations that I use all the time is headphones. This one's very common, and it is non-negotiable. Okay? Music or not, I don't know what's coming through the headphones, but the headphones are on, or they are with me, ready to be put on. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, I thought to myself, let me not take my headphones on the train with me. Let me be present and see what it is like to be present during the day, during the moment. Do you know what I was present for? Do you know? Well, I was very present for a child that was screaming, and then I was present for a man, I think he had maybe 3 teeth, who came on the train, and he sang Johnny Cash. He sang Johnny Cash songs for money. And I thought to myself, why did you insist on being so, what's the word? Present, like acting like I'm not affected by things. That is nuts. And I had a lapse of my sanity. And the reality is, you hear all this stuff about being present, being present. What is there to be present for? I took the tube the other day, the underground. Mind you, this thing is screaming loud. It's covered in graffiti going through London. And I saw this teenage group just being so loud and obnoxious. Like, truly, what is there to be, what humanity do I need to be, Mother Teresa for in this moment, and not have my headphones so that I can just, take in the world as if I were a saint? No, I will no longer be doing that. Headphones. So peaceful, noise canceling, so quiet. It makes everything better. It makes humanity better for me. Something that I used to do as well, talking about headphones, is I would have wireless earbuds, and I would take one out and leave one in. In that one earbud, I would listen to music, calming music, ASMR. Hold on, do I hear a siren? No, it's gone. Or white noise. And I started doing this because pretty soon after my stroke, and I was released from the hospital, the reality kicked in that I still had to live life and do life, and I think without time, I had no time and no space. I went back to work like very quickly after having a stroke, which is a sad, I think, financial reality in the United States, where it's devastating financially and you have to go back to work. So despite just having something huge happen to my brain, there's literally a piece of my brain missing, and I go to work, in-person work, working at schools, like having to travel to LA from outside of LA, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't go. Ended up leaving one job, and then I got another job, and throughout this period of time before I got remote work and I was in person, I just couldn't cope. And so one of the things that I did to survive, and it actually really did a lot for me, was I just started, I put in an earbud and I listened to music, really calming, kind of really grounding music, and it kind of worked. Like, I remember walking around my second job. This was like very corporate job. I had a dress code and everything. I had a name badge. I was an animal. Dressed up in a suit. And it was so sad. But I would walk around and I would listen to like meditation music or just something calming in my ear. And it made conversation way better. I actually felt more myself. I felt calm. I felt like I could exist, okay? And it wasn't so jarring when somebody, oh hey, like saw me in the hallway and wanted to make small talk. I actually felt much better. And I think that one earbud playing calming music was able to emotionally reframe me when my nervous system was at its most vulnerable and my body physically was at its most vulnerable, and the world around me was so overwhelming. To be able to feel that calm, I swear by headphones. I swear by them, and I use them all the time. Yeah, I even, when I go out now with my over the I go to order something or somebody's talking to me, I take one, just one, and move it behind my ear, or even half on my ear. I don't take them off. I just move them a little bit back. I don't care about coming across as rude. I don't care, because when somebody is talking to me, even though I've got the headphones kind of half off, I'm gonna make them feel comfortable. And they're not gonna walk away feeling like I didn't hear them. So I'm not worried about coming across as rude in my interaction, because there's no way I'm gonna be rude in my interaction. And the headphones, those are for me. That's to keep me comfortable while I'm able to make somebody else comfortable. So, love a headphone. Number 2, leaving early. Leaving early. I love hearing how other people leave early. I love leaving early. The truth of the matter is, everybody has different limits, different threshold, and that changes all the time for how much you can socialize or how much you can be present and have energy and be positive. So yeah, I like to leave early before I run out, and I'm very good now at judging how much energy I have left in order to get home. So I'm very good at saying, if I leave right now, even though I'm not all the way tired, I will have enough energy to get home and be like hot in the bed and be able to, leave gracefully. So, I leave early. Something that can happen to me, is that my body starts to feel a lot of pain, especially on the left side. So I just go home to take care of myself, like I'm just gonna go home. So leaving early, and being honest with people about why. I just say, I'm starting to feel that I always call it like a neuro feeling, where it's like I'm starting to get neurologically, a little weird. I can feel it. I'm gonna go home and rest. Okay. And people worth knowing will understand. People worth knowing will understand you. Okay. Number 3 is I break up high cost days. Another way I think about this is expenditure. What do you think about that word, expenditure? Pretty much there are days that I love, that I spend energy. I spend a lot of energy. This could be a lot of physical activity, like going for a hike. This could be social, like mental activity, like going to a party. If I can, in advance, I will space those out. So if somebody says, hi, do you want to get coffee on Saturday? Well, I look at the calendar, and if I've done something Friday, I will say, no, sorry, I'm not free on Saturday. Are you free on Sunday? And so I'm able to, using a calendar, I am able to schedule people when I know I will have rested enough, I will have energy, and where my body, even physically, will be able to recover. to baseline and relax a little bit. So, pretty much number 3 is that I break things up and I space things out so that I'm not burning myself out, okay? If I have a time where I can't help it, these things are just in a row, I will take the equivalent amount of time off after. So for a busy week, can't help it, I'll power through the busy week, I will power through. But the week after, nobody's getting coffee with me. Nobody. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'm not picking up the phone. I am offline. So, breaking things up. Okay. Number 4 is a quick one, an easy one. Number 4 is sandwiches. I take a sandwich when I leave the house. I have been blessed by my past self so many times. The train will get stuck, I'm delayed, or I start to feel weird. I eat a sandwich, I'm good to go. Sandwiches, be prepared. Alright. Number 5. Oh, I love number 5. Number 5 is heat. Oh my god, heat. Now, because of the way my body is wired, I don't like being cold. I never did. And now, because cold reads as pain to me on the left side of my body, I can't feel cold. Like on the right side of my body, I can touch an ice cube on the right side of my body. And I know, well, that's cold. That is a sensation that has a word, has a name. The sensation of that is cold. The left side of my body cannot feel that sensation anymore and recognize it as cold. Whatever empirical bits of data, whatever atomic structure or arrangement makes up cold, I can feel that, but the sensation has been replaced on the left with absolute agonizing pain. Wow, I don't like it. I don't think it can be understated. Cold for me is awful. So heat to me is heaven. To show me a good time, I don't need anything material. You don't need to take me to Disney World. What I need is a heating pad. Oh my god. A heating pad and a hot cup of coffee and a blanket and then 5 pairs of socks and a huge hat. You're kidding me. That is the way. If I want $1 million, if I want $1 billion, I would waste away in an electric blanket in front of a fireplace. It would log a fireplace. Anyway, yeah, hot, spicy food delivered to me every day. It would be awful. Let's hope I don't win $1 million. I would be locked in a chamber of like warmth. I'd be like a lizard. I would have a huge heat lamp. In fact, my life right now looks a little bit similar to that. I don't know if you can see it in the video. You'll see the wire. But I have a heating, what do they call a space heater? Non-negotiable. It's on every day. When I'm not filming, that's on. I usually wear 2 pairs of socks every day. 2 pairs. I'm wearing 2 pairs right now. I have a heating pad that I plug in. I have a Santa hat that I wear inside the house. I wear it year round. I used to wear it in college, just at my desk working. I'd have a Santa hat on. truly, heat is magic, and it helps my pain so much. It helps my body relax. Yeah, it can't be understated. One of the biggest things, I had accommodations at work when I was in person, but one thing that it couldn't do is I wasn't allowed to have a space heater, and they couldn't change the temperature in the building. It's like, if you've ever worked in an office, you understand that the temperature is somehow like God. Like, nobody knows how to get up there to make any change. It's just this thing that exists, and we're like, it's a mystery. It's a universal mystery in an office about the temperature. It was a major reason why I had to leave. I just couldn't handle it, and I had a dress code, but I would be sitting at my desk more often than not in a big coat. I was miserable, so I don't even like to think about it. Instead, I love to think about my heating pad, my heater, a nice little toasty fireplace. I'm always listening to fireplace ambience. Okay. Heat. Which one is that? Is that number 5? Yeah, I love number 5. Okay. Number 5. And I overdress for cold weather. I go all out. I'm usually wearing 2 thermal leggings, under jeans, thermal shirt, mittens, the whole thing in the winter time, because I like going out in the winter. But I just dress super nuts. Maybe related to this is number 6. Pretty much on a cold night, you gotta be really special for me to commute for you. If there's an event, a party, and I have to commute at night, on a cold night. Now, mind you, I am in London and I don't have a car, which means that I have to sit in a freezing cold train to get anywhere, or the tube to get anywhere. These things are not toasty warm. Sometimes in the summer the tube is really hot, but pretty much it has to be very special for me to do it, and I will, and I have done it, and I will do it. But it's gotta be really special. Otherwise, no. I'm not coming out of my warm nest to commute, 45 minutes in the freezing cold. No. So number 6, I'm not going out, okay? And I keep evening socializing to a minimum anyway. This leads me to number 7. I actually have not heard anybody talk about this before, because I think it involves anyway. Okay, number 7, like I said, I keep my evening socializing to a minimum. Number 7, I socialize with older people. So I'm talking about people 40 and up. Also, a huge chunk of who I socialize with is like 50 and up. Maybe, yeah, a lot of people in their 60s. It's all over the spectrum, but older than me. Rarely ever younger than me. And sometimes my age, very young adult, but not. I socialize with older people. 1, because they tend to be more out in the day, doing things in the day, but also they just kind of get it. I kind of feel comfortable and like they understand me, and we're the same speed. I don't know how else to explain that, but it's been wonderful. social life to hang out with older people who just are like chill. It's made a big difference in my life, and I feel very seen. I feel very validated by people who are older, like in their 60s, who are having some health problems, but we're all navigating at our own speed and we're just living life. And here in England, the people I meet, they're hiking, they're walking, they're going out, and we're kind of the same speed. So I really like that. And it's not as much hanging out at bars. It's more like cafes and talking about life and hobbies and kind of deeper things. Sometimes when I hang out with younger people, it's everything about it is just not quite the vibe. And I find older people, we're able to get deeper and we're able to have more meaningful conversations. And in settings like hiking on a random Tuesday morning that just work with me. You know, my social life in LA was just gone. It's probably because I was just tired, exhausted all the time, and I was trying to meet people when I had nothing to give, late at night, after work, on my one weekend when I've had no time to recover. I just couldn't do it. And here I've really enjoyed socializing with older people who, you know, they have children and families, or they've got adult children, or they're retired, and we're able to kind of take a little bit of an exhale. So I like socializing with older people. That's on my list. Okay. Number 8. Shoes. Okay. Because I have balance problems and I'm just kind of physically uncomfortable in my left foot. I don't really sometimes know when I've touched the ground because of lack of sensation. Shoes really help me, and sneakers. I wear shoes, like boots, shoes, and I typically wear shoes in the house, and I wear 2 pairs of socks inside of the shoes, and that is what it is. I love wearing shoes inside the house. It really helps me walk and figure out where I am in space. So I think that's number 8 is shoes. Okay, number 9, very similar to what I said just now about socializing, and that is I know I don't do well in really loud environments or at night. I will ask people to get a coffee with me instead of like a meal somewhere at like a really loud pub or somewhere where I know it's going to be loud. I will just tell people very specifically, I'll say, do you want to get coffee at, and then I say this place because I know I like this place, and then it's comfortable. So I have felt more comfortable as of late being able to ask people very specifically and say, I want to talk to you here, can we meet here? And most of the time people are like, yeah, that's great, and they're just happy that you came up with a place and they don't have to make a plan. So oftentimes I will make a plan that is quite comfortable. Okay. Number 10, a small one, is I carry around materials to put my hair up. Especially on a windy day, I like to have my hair down, but then I'll go out and the wind will blow it all over the place. So I just put my hair up really quickly and I'm good to go. So something to always take care of my hair. Number 11, I sit when I can, and I will tell people that I need to sit down. And everyone is always super understanding of this, but I just need to sit down. This will happen pretty much if I'm going for walks outside, or if I'm standing around Number 12. I avoid travel and going places during peak hours. So, my moment on the train yesterday when there was not a seat, it was because it was a Sunday, like midday. And typically I don't go out on the weekend. I will save that either for early in the morning, on the weekend if I have to, or during the week. And I'm strategic with my work so that I can be able to do that. Number, what is this, 13. When I can't sit down normally, like on a seat, I will lean or I will sit on the ground. And I have found that that's totally fine. Again, no one really says anything. I'm not taking up a lot of room. I keep myself out of the way. And I just sit on the ground. And I'm thankful my body is able to do that. And I can just sit on the ground. Number 14. Let's see. So here in London, in the inner city, there's those red buses, the double-decker buses. I don't take those. Not if I can help it. I avoid them because it's hard for me to physically accomplish it. If you've ever gotten on them, you take one foot inside and the thing's already taking off. And I just am not coordinated enough. I cannot do it safely. And to climb up and down stairs in a moving bus, it's not a smooth ride. It's like a freaky haunted house. I don't do it. I don't take those buses. They're overwhelming anyway. There's always something weird going on in there. I don't take them anymore. I love the buses in rural, outside of the city, England. Those are great. Those are a lot calmer. But pretty much, I just know when a situation is physically too much and I avoid it, so I don't go on those buses. Not if I can help it. It'll be fine if I go on them, but it's like, why would I do that? Okay, let's see. What was that? That was 14. Number 15. I ask for what I need. Most of the time, that is bags to carry things in, and especially coffee. What are those things called? Like carriers to carry drinks. Or I will just ask for help, or just take my time doing something. So, because of the way my body works, you wouldn't totally know that there was something up with me just hanging out with me for a little bit, but it would come out in certain ways. One of the most common ways this comes out is picking up an order of drinks or food. I cannot very quickly or easily carry things in two hands. So if I'm with a friend and we order drinks and I'm being polite and I'm gonna go up to the counter and get them, I will either, typically I'll get the drink, I take it to them, then I come back and I get mine and take it back. Or I will just ask if they was miserable, and I had a reckoning. And I just thought, look, I am different now, post-stroke. I'm different. I am bothered by fluorescent lights. I'm in physical pain from standing too long, sitting too long, cold. I can't process talking to all the people who filter in and out of an office while doing my work. I can't handle commuting. Before and after, I was getting wiped. It took a while, but I found a remote job, and I have a remote contract. So if something were to happen to that job, I would be in a bad position because I'm not as competitive. And there's a lot of jobs I cannot do anymore. So the key has been finding remote work in an area that's kind of my area and getting good at it. Because it is how post-stroke I am able to, as a person with pretty odd, complex disability that's neurological, in addition to the straightforward motor, deficiencies. That's how I'm able to survive and have a job. It's complex, but it has made all the difference in the world. All of the difference in the world. And I'm convinced that it is lengthening my lifespan. I don't say that lightly. I do think it is allowing me to recover what I can from the stroke and recalibrate my body and sustain where I'm at for a long period of time and not take away from me. So this is maybe my biggest accommodation in this life, is working from home. And it's something that I really fought for when I was in person. I fought for as much comfort as I could get. It was not enough. And so I fought hard for a remote contract and a new job. And I got it. And it's everything. I will always be so grateful for my job, for allowing me this. I think that's been major for my self-esteem, because I used to think that because I couldn't hold most types of jobs, that there was something like, I didn't want that to be the case. But now I'm able to verbalize that I'm the type of person I can't do most jobs. I'm not cut out for most work, and a lot of it's impossible. So I'm within a very narrow version of what is possible, of like how to exist in the world. I've been able to find something in there, and I think it's not easy to find like something that works for you when a lot doesn't work for you, but it's so worth it. And I also want to say that, like, I hope that people don't feel bad, like if there's things that you can't do, or you get the sense that doing it would be an extreme cost to you, because it is about finding those where you succeed and where you're able to thrive, and you deserve that. That's a big one, is that you deserve those things. You do not deserve to be forced into a construct that is not good for you, beneficial to you. You deserve to be in a place that is comfortable to you, and you deserve comfort, and you deserve some ease in the world. You do not need to be martyring yourself for anything, especially a job. You deserve to be comfortable while you survive, and you do your thing as comfortable as you can, comfortable as possible. So something that I do to accommodate myself is stretch and go for walks often, because a lot of the pain involves tightness in involuntary contraction of muscle. Relaxation looks like using the brain, using the body to stretch and kind of remind the body that it is okay. So loosening, going for walks, getting the body warmed up, keeping things moving, and then resting after, very good. So 17 is very important. Stretching and walking, maintaining movement, maintaining activity in the body, resting after. Speaking of movement, number 18, my accommodation is I own a mini trampoline. They're expensive. A good one is expensive, but it's so worth it. In my case, my body, because of the pain and the tightness on the left, is very heavy. Walking can be a little bit laborious, and I cannot currently run very well. I cannot ride a bike safely, and I cannot jump very high. I'm quite... a lot of the big muscle groups came back that are responsible for large movement, but all the fine motor skills that go into some of those activities I don't have. So I miss that feeling of when you can run and you just feel that adrenaline, that high, that sense of you're flying. So I got a trampoline, and it does it. I used to love riding bikes. I used to love the feeling of riding a bike when you're pedaling and then you stop and you're just flying. I got a mini trampoline. I jump on that thing. It makes me feel like it's all there. Anyway, it's just such a joy to be able to jump on a mini trampoline and feel weightless. To feel totally weightless. The same thing with swimming. It feels wonderful to swim because I don't feel heavy anymore. I feel very light, very in control of my body. It's very easy. I love how easy it is to move my body in the pool, but also jumping on a trampoline. The benefits as well, the emotional benefits of jumping on a mini trampoline. I can't overstate it. I would recommend a miniature trampoline to most people. I really would. Okay, number 19 looks like there's gonna be 20, which is great. So, number 19, I think I'd mentioned this in another video, but writing everything down. I write everything down. I have a Google Calendar. I have a paper calendar. I have list after list after list. I use Google Keep. So I have deadlines in 3 places. I've got reminders on. I've got lists of everything to help compensate for the cognitive deficiencies of being able to remember, of being able to organize information, and to keep things whole. I write everything down, and it's magical. And we, in 2025, we have so many good tools. We've got the electronic everything, and I have taken full advantage, so writing everything down. Number 20, the last one that I wrote down anyway. The last one is I have allowed my pain to have a relationship with me. I have entered into a relationship of real listening with my pain. If I didn't have pain on the left side of my body, my sensation would be very minimal, and it actually might feel very scary to not feel anything on to not know when I'm being touched, and to not know when I'm touching the world around me, to not know where I am in space, as opposed to like every time I move, I feel some pain. So it's not value, good or bad, good or bad. It's just my body adapting to an event, some damage that was done. And the pain is something that allows me to be more embodied, to be in my body, and to still experience the world through the senses that were damaged, but it's just a different kind of sense. So it's just me in the world right now, and I have a relationship with it. Some days I'm like, this left hand, you need to calm down, and this arm, you need to chill, let me take care of you, or my leg, let me take care of you, and I'll wrap the heating pad around it, and we'll put the blanket on. And it's truly just like, I appreciate you telling me, like, oh, there's a person right there, like, recalibrate and walk this way. But now, I don't want to feel that anymore, so we're gonna rest. And that's been a big accommodation, is allowing the pain to be this helpful tool that we have a relationship. It's a complex relationship, but I have a sense of responsibility to it, and I have a way of thinking about the pain that's actually like is trying to help me survive. And I'm so thankful that I have survived and we're able to rock and roll and keep on keeping on. And the pain is just a part of that, and I'm able to rethink it as a mechanism that my body is employing to help me make sense of the world. It is what it is. And all of these things, these accommodations, they're really my life. And what I love more than anything is people's weird stuff that they do to like be in the world. I love it. I have some weird ones. I wear 2 pairs of socks and a Santa hat inside, but that's the joy of being on the ride. I am who I am, and I love doing all this weird stuff. I love heat so much. I love my heating pad. I love being in a hot tub. I love hot coffee. If I'm on vacation, I want a hot coffee. That's what I'm doing. I love mulled wine, hot alcohol. I love mulled wine. That's me. I get to be a person in the world. It's exciting. We're all so unique. If you are unique, accommodations is just, you deserve to be as freaky and weird and unique and interesting as you can, because that is awesome. So I love accommodations. I love them. I love hearing about people's accommodations. I like listing mine because it is like, I never really thought about it, but I do wear shoes in the house. I love it. I love being on a mini trampoline. And I think they should be celebrated. I actually saw a woman eating a sandwich that she brought from home at like a really nice event. It was like a really nice event, and she was just like, she unwrapped her little sandwich and ate it, and I was like, that looks good. And she said, oh yeah, you gotta have it. That train ride is long because she came from the coast. So it's like, rock on, woman. You are eating your sandwich that you made at home at this really fancy event. She deserves it. She is, I respect her so much, you know what I mean? So, yeah, these are the things that I've needed in my life. Who knows what my life will look like in 5 years, but right now, this is what I need. And it feels good to honor what I need. And everybody deserves that. So, I hope that this list was interesting. Let me know what accommodations that you might need. What do you like? How do you show up in the world in a way that's comfortable for you? Because I love hearing that. One of ultimate accommodation, having your dog. I'm all about service animals. People, the most bitter freaks on earth, are always complaining about people's emotional support animals. I say bring them on. You have an emotional support pig. Bring it. Why would you not want to see an emotional support pig in H&M? You know what I mean? We need to liven up these miserable places with fun, interesting, awesome, important accommodations, and I say bring it on. The world is a little bit stale for my liking, and I do think it needs a little more spice. I say go for it. What's this hair doing? I don't know what this is doing. Hello. What's going on? But anyway, one of these days I'm gonna have my emotional support dog. I cannot wait to get a dog. But for now, it's just me, the mini trampoline.